Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name is Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Beginning in northeast Nebraska, where a Norfolk woman at the center of an illegal abortion case has been released from probation. Celeste Burgess had previously requested to be released from probationary status earlier this year so she could visit a child in Oklahoma. That request at the time was denied. Her term of probation started in July of 2023 after pleading guilty to having an illegal abortion and disposing of the fetus. She also spent 90 days in jail. Now, court records show she also spent another 70 days in jail over the course of 5 separate occasions for probation violations, from as little as 3 days to up to 30. Documents also show Burgess was removed from her probation terms because the conditions were eventually met satisfactorily. Burgess's right to vote in elections is now restored. She can also apply to have other rights restored as well. A Nebraska reproductive rights group being taken to court over last year's abortion ballot measure. Utah-based signature-gathering firm Landslide Political suing Nebraskans for Reproductive Freedom. The company says they signed a $2.5 million contract with the group to gather signatures for Initiative 439, but says they've only been paid about $2.1 million. NRF says they've met the benchmarks of the original contract, but Landslide says in court documents those goals changed when the campaign's focus shifted late in the game. Initiative 439 would have rolled back Nebraska's 12-week abortion ban, but it didn't get as many votes as a competing measure, which codified the ban in the Nebraska Constitution. Some Republicans on Capitol Hill teaming up with Democrats to try to override the will of House Speaker Mike Johnson. They're demanding the swift release of all unclassified documents and communications related to accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. That's after a much-hyped disclosure from the Attorney General provided little new information. Amy Kiley has more.
When the Speaker stands in the way of justice and transparency, this is how we get justice.
An effort to force a House vote on releasing more Epstein files appears able to succeed. It would let lawmakers decide whether to give the Trump administration 30 days to disclose unclassified materials. The discharge petition is from Republican Representative Thomas Massey and Democratic Representative Ro Khanna. It would need 218 signatures, and Democrats could supply all but 6.
What are they hiding from the American people? Release the files.
Enough House Republicans say they'd back the measure to get it over the finish line. Many face pressure from their base.
They don't want things covered up, especially when it comes to the most well-known convicted pedophile in modern-day history.
Files are going to have to come out.
I think sunlight's good medicine.
The petition has to wait until after the 5-week August recess due to procedural requirements. House Speaker Mike Johnson could bring a related, non-binding resolution to the floor this week, but he says he won't, arguing the president is taking steps already.
He's asked the Attorney General to request the grand jury files of the court. We need the administration to have the space to do what it is doing, and if further congressional action is necessary or appropriate, then we'll look at that.
Amy Kiley reporting, News Channel Nebraska.
For the most part this year, Nebraska's summer has provided an eclectic mix of weather. Not a lot of heat advisory days so far, though. Through Sunday, take Grand Island. Only 6 days in July had reached even 90 degrees, according to the National Weather Service, and there were only 11 days that got there in June. Grand Island, until this week, hadn't even reached triple digits on the thermometer. That is changing this week. Heat advisories in place in northeast Nebraska on Tuesday. And for some, it's easy to believe they won't be affected negatively by the heat, but experts say there are warning signs you should watch out for.
If you're running or working, swimming, mowing the lawn, and you're finding it more difficult to complete because you're warm, sweating profusely, and you can't either calm yourself down or you can't finish your task, then that's the time to go inside, get hydrated, cool down. If you're still having symptoms, then you need to come in and seek medical attention. The significant one, heat stroke, if you're out doing those things, you get those symptoms, but then you develop things like confusion, you're lightheaded, dizzy, even seizures. Those things need to seek medical attention right away.
Cook says younger people and the elderly may become dehydrated easier in conditions like these, which makes them more susceptible to heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
Maintain, nourish, and support your health by visiting our Good Health, Good Life shopping tab. You'll find select multivitamins, probiotics, and more, designed for you. Make the good life even better and promote your health in 2025.
One way to cool off, go swimming, but if you have one certain above-ground pool in your backyard, you should take note. Millions are being recalled after several children have drowned. The pools, made by Best Way, Intex, and Poly Group, the compression strap that surrounds the outside of the pool can serve as footholds for children, allowing them to climb into the pool even if the ladder is removed. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says 9 children have drowned after gaining access to the pools by using the compression strap as a foothold. The agency says it's aware of 3 other incidents of children who got into the pools. About 5 million of the recalled pools have been sold since 2002 in major retailers like Walmart, Target, as well as online. Voters in Pierce and Wayne counties considering a $25.9 million bond to modernize Pierce public schools. District officials have been going to the public explaining the project and its price tag. Hanky Hazelton has more.
Pierce Public School officials presented a detailed overview to a packed house outlining how a proposed $25.9 million investment would transform their schools. Without the bond's passage, the district's ability to provide a modern learning environment could be hindered, and the decades-old facilities could increase repairs if upgrades are not made soon with what they have chosen.
2 elementary classrooms and a practice-sized gymnasium at the elementary, as well as some remodeling of locker rooms and a full-size gymatorium that includes a stage at the high school.
Stephenson said, all those things are very important, but this truly boils down to one thing some people may forget, ensuring that the safety of the students is improved with updated equipment and safe zones.
Camera systems as well as intercom systems that can communicate through both buildings, one to the other, as well as things like storm shelters and fire sprinklers in our elementary building.
Architect Bob Sukup also outlined the bond's hard and soft costs, making sure the public is fully aware of every detail they intend to also spend money on.
Hard costs are the bricks, the steel, the concrete. The soft costs, design fees, soil samples, surveys, the furniture that might go in, bleachers that goes into the gym, whether you have insurance, builder's risk insurance policies, things like that.
For those on the fence and against the bond's passing, Sukup said this has been a discussion since 2003, weighing the pros and cons while trying to put themselves in the community's position.
We tried to talk through with the community group process that we went through to try to identify the difference between wants and needs. We started with a list that would add up to about 42 million, and through that process, we took things back out to land on the value of roughly 26 million.
Mail-in voting started July 21st and ends August 12th, and officials say there is a strict deadline that requires ballots to be in at 5 p.m. sharp. If the bill were to pass, Houseman Construction says bidding and construction could start in the spring of 2026. In Pierce and the newsroom, Hanky Hazelton, News Channel, Nebraska.
The next step in the process for a controversial hog confinement proposal being taken up Tuesday. The Cherry County Board of Commissioners holding a special meeting to discuss the county's response to a recent court decision involving a proposed hog facility east of Valentine. As News Channel Nebraska previously reported, TK Angus has proposed building a facility about 3 miles from the Niobrara River. The board had denied the project's conditional use permit, but TK Angus filed a lawsuit and won. A judge ruled the facility complies with county zoning regulations and ordered commissioners to issue the permit. A town in central Nebraska naming a new tourism director after her well-known predecessor retired last month. Sarah Foke, the official new director of the Kearney Visitors Bureau after more than 2 decades of service there already, and has spent nearly a year as interim director. Foke steps into the role following the retirement of longtime tourism leader Roger Jasnock, who worked in the department for nearly 4 decades. Foke says she knows she has big shoes to fill, but says her own experience with the city and what she's learned from Jasnock should help the process go smoothly.
It's different. I've been in my role for 23 years as a convention sales manager, and so hearing director is is strange. Roger was a great role model and mentor. I wish I could clone him and have him at my disposal every day, but I think that I am confident that I will do just fine and look forward to the future.
That future includes major developments on Kearney's northwest side, including the newly announced Good Life District, which will bring new hotels, restaurants, and retail to the area. Foki says she feels lucky to be able to promote a destination and community like Kearney, adding she wants to continue to build the city's reputation in the state as a great place to live and work. And finally, some exciting programming news to share. Here at News Channel Nebraska, we'll be posting up for 5 live shows at the Nebraska State Fair, and we're welcoming a familiar face to the broadcast team. Colleen Williams will be joining Kent Boughton and Dave Greek as co-hosts for the hour-long program. It debuts Friday, August 22nd. That's the State Fair's opening day. And we'll have shows every day the following week except for Thursday. You'll be able to watch them from 6 to 7 Central Time on NCN TV, our website, our Facebook page, and right here on our YouTube channel as well. You can check out the video teaser online right now. Leave us a comment. Suggest what kind of segments you'd like to see in these shows. Should be good. In the meantime, you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com, click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.